What's up? So, we already got the salmon fillet doing this thing, marinating in the refrigerator. So, while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and pull the ribs and we're going to wrap them. And I'm going to teach you the proper wrapping technique a lot of people really don't pay attention to and kind of give you a little bit better quality overall product. So, make sure we pay close attention to how we wrap these ribs. And man, watch out, this is finna really be fun. Alright, so here's a moment of truth. Oh yeah. Yeah, perfect color we're looking for. Starting to pull back. You can tell on the edges on where the nice pullback's gonna come from on this side and this side here. Man, the rib tips are looking beautiful. So man, the rib tips are ready now to come off the grill and we can eat those while these slabs are getting taken care of. So when we wrap them, we want to make sure we wrap with this side close to the firebox. So this is kind of like our telltales now. So we'll notice that this side is the correct side going to the firebox as well as this one as well. So we want to make sure when we wrap them, we turn this here. And you see how we got a nice bend to it? That's the proper bend that lets you know it's time to wrap. Let's go ahead and get these rib tips off because man, I can't wait to get these rib tips. So we got the gloves. We're going to work with these. Man, oh wow. Man, this is great. Look at that, man. And imagine, someone used to throw these away because they didn't think they was worthy of eating. Oh, but it does. So, the guy like, you know what? It takes a little while to cook these ribs and get them nice and broken down. Why don't I just have these as a snack while the rest of them eat? So that's where the whole rib tip invention came from. Now, you can either sauce those or you can eat them like that. A lot of people from Memphis, West Tennessee, where I'm originally from, we do the dry rub style, so we'll eat them just like this, straight out the bowl. Some people from Kansas City, other places, they'll throw a little sauce on them. And I mean, either way it goes, it's good. So we want to make sure we try to keep those all uniform direction. So when we know we place them in the foil, we'll know which direction they're going to the firebox. Nice, this is a beefy one. This is going to be really cool. All right, so got those nice and good. Close the smoker back up. Want to retain all that heat. Take them in, wrap. Bring it back out, throw them on the cooker, then it's party time. All right, see y'all in a second. All right, so now when I took the ribs off the grill, now it's time to wrap. And it's probably like the coolest time of all because after we get done wrapping, we got like 2.5 hours that you can sit back, eat some rib tips, drink a beer, catch up on some football, kick it with your tenderoni, or do whatever you want to do. But make sure you pay attention to the dead gum cold, because if you don't, you either burn up your meat or you're going to take about 8 hours for a cook. The cook is supposed to take about 4 hours. Alright? So, this is how you do when you wrap your ribs and get them ready to go back on the smoker. The way I do it is, I get 2 pieces of foil. Reasons why, if you're going to move your ribs around, chances are you may wreck it across the grill and drip and drain all your precious au jus, which is your juices, out on the bottom of the grill, and then all of a sudden you got dry ribs. Ribs not moist, tastes like tennis shoe leather, and everybody get ready to leave your party. Alright? So, first, what we like to do is we'll start off with a base coat, a little small sauce. Then we'll brush it. So remember, dirty hand, clean hand. Alright. Grab our ribs. Well, we'll keep our ribs on there for first. We'll brush a little sauce down first. We won't have to put a lot. We'll put a little bit, enough to coat the top of the ribs. And when we put our ribs back in the smoker, we'll put them on the meat side down. The reason why I say I do meat side down is because it allows the bone to draw up and absorb the moisture in the meat. And then also when we put our ribs in the aluminum foil, we also want to make sure we put our aluminum foil shiny side inside toward our meat. And the reason why scientifically, I'm a country boy. Listen to me, scientifically. Alright, so shiny side doesn't reflect heat in meat. Shiny side doesn't reflect heat from the smoker. Not your meat, listen to me. Alright. But what it does was the opposite side does absorb your heat. So what you want to do is make sure your shiny side is inside. Good rhyme, man. I know I didn't make it up, but I wish I did. Well, okay, shiny side inside. So got our nice sauce glazed at the bottom of our foil. I like to put a little extra sweet on it besides the sauce. Not a lot. Don't get heavy like it's a candy cane or something. So get you a little light brown sugar. Notice I haven't touched my ribs yet. Sprinkle. Not heavy coat. We're not making cake, okay? just a little sweet. Sprinkle just a little bit of brown sugar on here, okay? And I just use just a little bit of this for general purpose. All right, now we got that taken care of. Dirty hand. Take this with our meat. Now notice we looked at our pullback side, opposite side when we was on the grill. Make sure you keep an idea of which side is the side that pulls back. And what I like to do is place a marker or indicator on it till I know which direction goes the side of the smoker. So I usually face those toward me. Now, we got that taken care of. Dirty hand, clean hand. Throw a little bit more sauce on the back side, because that's the side that's going to taste your taste bud. It's going to hit your tongue first. Then we'll brush our meat on with a little brush. We're going to make these ribs nice and happy. Do what they want to do. And if they ain't happy, I ain't going to be mad at them anyway. They still going to get ate. Alright, so just a tad bit of sauce because we want to cover the whole deal. Get all that covered up. Now, since I had touched my meat, you know what we gotta do with this glove. Clean glove. Pop this joker off. Got another one ready right here. We'll throw that to the trash can, get the clean glove. Throw this joker on. Right back in the barbecue sauce. Remember, we're not making cake. We're not making any kind of bakery. We're not doing it. We're smoking ribs, man style. So we want to sprinkle a little bit on the ribs, not much. We mean doing lady style. But we'll sprinkle a little bit on it, not very much. You know, we're not gonna put a lot, but we're gonna get enough to make that little sauce have a little sweet kick on it. Because you know my sauces have a little heat on it, so I want to make sure I'm marrying my sweet with my heat. You want to make sure this is nice broken up. So we're good as far as that concerned. Take the glove off. And we're going to double wrap it. Remember, fold inside, fold outside, make a nice little blanket. We're going to fold those ends in, tuck the ends in. We're going to do the same thing one more time. Now when we get done doing this, we're going to place our indicator on it. I gotta get my indicator. Indicator lets us know what directions that the rib's gonna go on towards the firebox. That way we can have a nice pullback and then tell us when our meat's done. Never go by time. Always go by temperature. Alright? So, here's what we do. Make sure everything's nice and good. Put an indicator on it. Now it's gonna go back on the smoker. And then at the same time, we're gonna put our salmon on the smoker as well. 30 minutes probably has been gone past. And we can put it on our cedar plank that's been marinating in the water for the last 30 minutes. We'll put that on the smoker for the next 2 hours. We'll check on it after the first hour, make sure the temp is good. We want the cedar to be 145 when it gets done. So after the first hour, we're going to make sure that it's nice and the rub has dried in on it. We don't want to make sure it's so dry that it's really flaked off. We want to make sure that it's adhered to the salmon, and then we'll start doing a little bit of spritz to make sure we still retain some moisture. So, hey, let me put these out here. These ribs are getting cold. Can't be out here long. Let's go handle business. All right, so now it's time to put back on the smoker. Now here's the reason why I say it's a cool time. Got about 2.5 hours before the ribs are done. And then the reason why you know the ribs are done, you never go by the time. You never go by a time frame when you're dealing with smoking meat. You go by the way the meat looks, and you get a drawback on the bone where you know it kind of look like teeth from an old dinosaur or a Dracula or something like that. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that we all pay attention to our temperature on our smoker box. Make sure it always stays at 250. And then you want to always make sure that, you know, we don't have a billow of smoke coming out because that can affect your meat with a nasty sooty taste. Want to make sure your smoke is nice and clean. So I got a couple of slabs that's been on there previously. They're rocking and rolling right now. I'm going to put this one on here as well. And then we're going to get this salmon ready to go on here. Clean hand, dirty hand. I'm going to have a little fun with him. Yeah. We want to place him all the way close to the edge of the firebox because we don't want that salmon to take on a lot of smoke. We want to make sure that it get kissed by the smoke, but you just don't want it to dry out the salmon. So that's why we're placing it all the way at the very far end. So now we're just going to close her up, grab an adult beverage, hang out, grab some of those rib tips, hang out with the family till those slabs are done. And my wife's going to go ahead and hook up the sides. We're going to place a couple of those sides on the smoker as well. get those rocking and rolling. We're gonna have a party. See you in a second.
All right, we're back here. So the potatoes are in the oven. We have them here sitting here. They've warmed down just a little bit because they're just a little hot to touch. So we're just gonna go through the directions on what we do step by step. So let me get some gloves. Since we're now, anything that is ready to eat, you wanna make sure you have gloves since it's not gonna be cooked again. We are putting it in the smoker, but it's not getting back up to temperature where it'll kill any kind of bacteria. So I'll borrow Big Perm's gloves, even though they're humongous. They still work and do the job. All right. So here, I'll move this so you can see it a little bit better. I'll take a potato, lengthwise here. I'll cut directly in between and cut this way, okay? So each potato, I'm going to do that, and then I have a big bowl here where I'm actually going to just scoop everything out. You want to try your best to keep the skin intact. So you just kind of get it in there and just scoop in as much as you can without taking the skin with it. So that's normally the harder part to it. All right, so we'll do a few of these. And then I have my milk and butter that's already been melted together. And I add that in there as well. And I'll season with salt and pepper, a nice 4-cheese blend. And I actually smoked some bacon. So that'll also add to the smokiness. All right, so this is what it looks like cold out. Right? Okay, so each one will do the same thing until everything's out. Because what we're doing pretty much is making loaded mashed potatoes. So keeping the skin intact, once everything is seasoned, put back together, we'll then stuff the skins back with the same items and place them on the smoker. And this is something fun for kids to do if you have children in the house. Once they've cooled down a little bit, put some gloves on their hands, and then kind of just let them scoop out. It's something fun. I like being in the kitchen with my parents when I was younger. They allowed me to do little small things like, you know, pat out hamburger patties, things of that nature. So it's something fun for all children. Knife safety, always make sure your hand is nowhere near the actual blade. Very important. Alright, that's done. So I will continue to scoop. And you don't have to get all the potato out because you're still going to eat the entire thing, skin and all, which is why we cleaned it earlier. Now, since I'm recording, I'm not going to do what I normally do, which is play really loud music and dance around in the kitchen. I'm not quite sure you're ready for that type of entertainment today. So, we'll try to keep it classy, you know? Here we go. Alright, so I have all the potatoes here. I'm going to get a little of this melted milk as well as butter and mix that in there to kind of make it a little bit more smoother. So, take my gloves off here. Place it here on the edge. Everything's nice and warm. And I have my masher. So I'll place a little in, not all at the same time because I don't want it to be too runny. So I kind of just eyeball it. I pretty much have 2 cups of milk and a half a stick of butter. And so I'll mash all of that together. And it'll absorb all those flavors for me. And then once I have that in here, I'll then add some salt and pepper to taste. And then I'll add the cheese and bacon. Okay, so nice and mashed. I kind of leave it a little chunky so that people know that they're real potatoes. Because if they're too smooth, most of the times, most people think that they're instant potatoes. And with all the hard work we just did, we want to make sure everyone knows that they are made from scratch. Okay? So salt and pepper I do to taste. But normally it's about 2 tablespoons of salt and about a tablespoon of black pepper. I can eyeball it as I go. That's perfectly fine. And normally you do everything to your own taste. So you taste as you go before you continue to layer and add more. Because you can only add more seasoning. It's very hard to take away seasoning. I tell you that from experience of trial and error. Alright, I have 2 cups of 4-cheese blend of cheese here. So get a spoon. I'm not going to use all of it because some of them I'm going to sprinkle on the very top. So let me for sure all of the bacon. Because you just can't go wrong with bacon. Alright. So I'll mix all that together. And so, still chunky, still smooth. And then at this time, you would normally just taste and change any seasoning. If you want anything smoother, you can use sour cream. Anytime, use anything that you would like. If you don't like butter, you can just go with ghee or something like clarified butter or even low cholesterol butter. Okay? So I'm gonna get my tasting spoon so I can try it and see if I need to change any flavors that I have going on.
Why you don't let me use the taste spoon? see, you're wrong. Why you don't let me use the taste spoon? I want some.
It is perfect.
What's up?
You see what happens?
See, look.
Back to the grill.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. You see, it's real because she made it real. If you don't get anything just instant over here, you're going to get the real deal. You better believe that. I'm going to let you get back to cooking, but you know, hey.
I cannot make any sides by myself without my husband decide he needs to taste everything.
Hey.